Hello, Gemini. It is your turn for your reading for the month of April. Hope all of you are well. The Gemini I'm with, seems like a lot has been going on for him, which I'm trying to be compassionate, trying to be there for him. A lot of stress with work and stuff. I do feel like Geminis, may feel like they have a lot on their plate. If you are a cross watcher, do keep in mind Geminis need your support. They need you to be there for them. If you're having a hard time dealing with a Gemini, do keep in mind, they're going through a lot of energetic shifts and changes in their lives. So try to be as supportive as you can. Give them the space that they need if they need space. Try to make things light as possible and comfortable around them. Anyways, do keep in mind, Gemini, those who've watched this is a general reading, so it may not apply to all of you out there, but I try to pick up the energies from the cards of what they're showing, so it may not apply to all of you, but maybe those who feel led to it, which is fine. Not every reading is going to apply to everyone, so want to keep that in mind. And also with the whole chaos with the coronavirus, do keep in mind that not everything you hear or see is truly what's going on. A lot of the pandemic has been a lot of fear-based, and I feel like a lot of people are taking precautions, which you should, to take better care of yourself, to not go over the extreme. I do feel like it's trying to balance people into much different lifestyle than they're used to, and learning how to deal with the changes. But if you feel the need to stay inside so you don't catch anything, by all means stay inside. But it's like, I feel like a lot of people have gone overboard. Like they feel like they have to stay inside when no one's really forcing them. I mean, it's just a suggestion. So do what most importantly that you feel comfortable doing. I feel like everyone needs to be accountable for their life and their family and situations. So anyways, I'm shuffling your cards, getting them ready for you guys. Anyways, it is pretty hot today. I don't know where everyone's at, but it's really hot here. So keep hydrated, take care of yourself, take vitamins if you take vitamins. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna shuffle the cards real quick. Just trying to, because I like to put them in a different piles for each of the cards, like the cup cards, the long cards, the major arcanas. And I like to put them in categorized, so that's probably why it takes a little bit of time to get everything organized. Right now I'm just shuffling the cards, make everything accurate as possible. Yeah, let's get into your reading, Gemini. Like I said, a lot of you are going through periods of transformation, shifts in your life. I feel like this has been thus far one of interesting years for Geminis, I feel like, because in May, which is coming up, your North Node in Gemini is going to, be a thing, and your South Node in Sagittarius. And you may not have these placements with your North or South Node. You can always look up your birth chart if you're curious about, what's your moon sign, what's your rising sign, all that, Venus and all that. So I feel like for Gemini, it's on a scale, and I've heard someone say this, and I do feel like it's, making not so much logical decisions, making proactive about, things that you may have not cared about so much, you care now, and being proactive to making things happen in your world, in your life, in your family's life, and it's about growing up, and a lot of times growth pains can be difficult, whatever that is. I know one Gemini friend, She recently came out saying that she is divorced. I'm like, what the heck? It's like, that was a shocker. So it's like going through the healing process of that, you know. And then one Gemini, she has a boyfriend. I thought she was married for I think 15 years. And then you got these Geminis who are single, wanting someone in their life. And then you got Geminis like my Gemini. He's engaged. We're going to get married probably soon in April. And then those who have kids and stuff, you know. You could be a Gemini that want kids. I don't know. I know me and my Gemini, we want kids, but we're trying to get everything stable. Anyways, let's see what's going on. Put the cards right. So, this is my little setup. It's not perfect, but it's what we got. Everyone's worried about like their setup, which I'm just being more natural with things. Alright, Ace of Wands, taking action, Gemini. New beginnings, possibly. This could be with other people. There could be conflicts. I think it's more about your inner conflicts, your inner drive to move forward, to get past the obstacles of life. Change of wind, a direction. I do feel like you've been feeling, I don't know why isolated, but I feel like with the Devil card here, it's about recognizing your inner conflicts, that you need to get a handle of these things. Your emotions could be a little bit out of whack. But yeah, you're going towards a stronger, stable, solid foundation. But I feel like a lot of it that you're having anxiety about, you've been dealing with, you know, maybe sleepless nights, maybe a lot of pain that you've been dealing with. Maybe that's physical pain, maybe that's spiritual pain, mentally pain, you know, dealing with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears coming up for you. I do feel like there's communication coming, or you want communication from someone. I do feel like when it comes to these thoughts, these patterns, I feel like it's about transforming them. Maybe that's why the Page of Swords, you know, clarity on getting through these difficult times and periods in your life. So I feel like a Tower card has come and shown you clarity. I'm feeling clarity from this card that was unexpected. Maybe something, I do feel like two Geminis I recently watched, and they mentioned how, you know, they couldn't get to their home because the whole coronavirus. They were kind of panicking, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe something happened recently that got you panic and was surprised. When it comes to family, when it comes to situations in your life, that's really got you emotional, or you're trying to feel emotional in a family situation. You could be dealing with a Pisces, and a Capricorn, or Cancer, possibly. I do feel like you've gathered your emotions, or maybe in some way you feel like your emotions are kept to yourself. But I feel like you're emotional about a connection of some kind, maybe in a family situation. Let's see. Yeah, soulmate. Maybe you're worried about the finances. Maybe you're worried about something within a love dynamic that's giving you disappointment. So I was going to say this could be a past situation, but I feel like it's more about a present situation. You're disappointed in something with a soulmate connection that has to do with friends. Some of you could have had a disappointment either with a lover, spouse, friends. You know, someone has a disappointment about something. maybe taking action on something. So maybe you regret not taking action on something with a soulmate that gave you disappointment. So there was kind of disappointment with communication that brought in that. That has to do with love. So I do feel like you've been waiting on something. You're tired of waiting on something, Gemini. I feel like you've been waiting for a long time. You've been trying to plant in some seeds of growth, maybe spiritually, mentally, physically, trying to take time. Or this is you taking your time on something that has to involve other people and other situations, or waiting on a soulmate connection, or waiting on a third-party situation to start getting the results you need. Some of you could be dealing with a job situation where you put time into something. Maybe something ended with the job situation and it brought in new income, a new type of thing. And I do feel like maybe you feel like you regret it. Maybe that's the disappointment. Let's get 2 more cards. So you want your ultimate happiness, Gemini, I feel like, but there's a lot of blocks that you're trying to unblock. So it has to do with your value to something, whether it's a work situation, whether it's a soulmate connection, whether it's a third-party situation. I do feel like you're trying to unblock these, like you're at a standstill. You put a lot of time and effort into something. You want your wish fulfillment, your happiness, but I just feel like there's some obstacles that you need to unblock yourself of, because I feel like there's something blocking you from your true potential. And it could be a job situation. I'm going to shuffle the cards a little bit. See if we can get anything concerning your love situation in life right now. Well, in the month of April right now, it doesn't really matter what time. Time is time, you know? Alright. So, I feel like this is between... I don't think it's necessary 2 people. I do feel like there's a decision. This is about decisions. Times is up about a decision you need to make. Maybe in a love connection. Or you feel like your hands are tied between... I don't know why that's coming up, 2 people. But I feel like it's more about tied between a rock and a hard place. Because I feel like ultimately you have a lot of drive, you have a lot of ambition to reach your goal and success. But I feel like maybe you haven't been seeing something the way that you want to see it. Or maybe there's something within the relationship that hasn't been what you wanted. Like, kind of like, I felt like the Sagittarius reading. So you could be dealing with Sagittarius, I don't know. Something that you're putting in a lot of time and effort into something, but I feel like it has to do with, you know, not expecting so much. Because I feel like you're not happy with how things have been going. And I think it's about simply being grateful for what you do have instead of wanting more. Like, I feel like it could be something that has to do with people or situations that you're wanting more to the situation. Yeah, you're wanting change. Ultimately, I feel like, Gemini, in your relationships, you're wanting things to move faster, but I feel like things are taking their time. Or you feel like in some way the world's against you in your progress. Like, nothing's really happy. Nothing's really satisfying you. So it's making you very sad and depressed maybe. And really getting in a dark place because you want things to move a certain way. Or you want things to go a certain way and they're not. Like, you're expecting so much to happen in a length of time. And I feel like it's like, you know, I don't think it's necessarily you want things now, quick, but I feel like there's you know, maybe within a timeline that you want things to progress, which they are. I just think you need to be patient. So I do feel like this is what you're maybe fearing, or there's a lack of some kind in your relationship where, you know, you don't want to be left out in the cold. You don't want to feel like in some way, you know, that someone's going to walk away from you. Maybe that's a fear of yours, like things aren't going to pan out the way they are. But I feel like with this idea that you're coming up against, you know, you're fearing the worst, but I just feel like you have to be patient. You have to have faith that things are working out. So yeah, you have a lack about, or a fear of some kind, and I think it's about, you know, realizing that everything is working. You know, people in your circle are trying the best they can to work with you. You know, it's not in reverse, so that's a good sign. So you don't want any heartbreak here. You don't want any deceptions here in a third party situation, or people in general that you're working together. This could be a work situation. There's a lot of heartbreak with it, and you're afraid to either you feeling left out of the cold or someone feeling left out of the cold. So there could have been deception maybe in a work situation. Maybe you thought something was gonna be the ultimate miracle for you, but it's about releasing the control, walking away from the idea that, you know, not everything's gonna go to plan, and it's being okay with the changes. So yeah, you have a lot of things coming towards you, I feel like, Gemini, whether that's a new relationship, if you're single, or if you're in a previous relationship. You know, things are coming to you. Usually this is a card about options, but I feel like it's more about things coming to you, especially in May. I feel like, especially when things switch to, you know, what is it called? The North Node is going into Gemini, so automatically I feel like you're going to start picking up the pace. You're starting to get maybe a better income, better things, better situations. I just feel like April is going to help you get forward in those things, and then, you know, May is where you're going to reap all these benefits that you've been putting time in. So hold on to your seat, Gemini. It may be a bumpy ride now, but you do have a new beginning in any situation given. So this is what I'm feeling, that April is going to help you start in a fresh perspective. And I feel like, you know, with change, I do feel like it's hard for Geminis, because, you know, they can put up with a lot. They can deal with a lot on a, you know, on so many levels. But I feel like when it comes to change, when things that they have to do, or they feel like maybe it's their responsibility, it's really hard for them when they have to change certain ways or certain patterns. But I feel like nothing's too hard for you. I think it's about growing pains you're dealing with for the past few months. I feel like a lot of you been dealing with growing pains of some kind, and it's about taking that leap of faith, taking that initiative, drive that Aries brings to you. I feel like, or it brings to a lot of us, you know, to move forward. That's what I do love about Aries season. So Aries season is going to give you the drive you need to move forward. You may have Aries in your chart somewhere. I know my Gemini, we both have Aries and Mars. So I do feel like things are going to level out in April for you. But I feel like things are starting to progress more into March, where you're starting to receive, you know, the benefits, the income that you would like. It may not be perfect, but I do feel like a lot of good things are going to come to you, you know. So that's what I'm feeling with that. So I hope that resonates for one of you out there. Hopefully in some kind. Why does the phone do that? Anyways, have a good day. Bye.